Hey guys, Bryce off here, and welcome to what is the first of what I'm hoping is many podcasts. And with me today is... You guys have to talk one at a time, though.
I'm round the wheel. I guess most people know me. I go by Jess. I'm the J in the title, as it were.
And for some of you old-time subscribers of mine, you may recognize this voice.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Oh God, it's Gary 2-0.
It's nobody that you would ever recognize. I don't believe. I've been off the grid for far too long, and the
People
average
still ask
attention
about
span.
you,
Do they really? Well, hi if you're asking. I've been off the grid too long, and as you all know, the internet can get together for 15 seconds and get a homeless man with a golden voice, a Kraft macaroni and cheese commercial, and then completely forget about him as he spirals off into another heroin lapse. But no, I'm Zoop
God
Soul.
bless
I
America.
am. God bless America.
God bless Canada.
God bless
What?
America. Oh no!
Fuck Canada.
One of you, you're not American. But no, I'm Zoop Soul. I am the Z in this. Go by Dave. We're going with Z though because everybody knows me as Zoop.
Damn right.
Not to be confused with the game Zoop. It actually
I fucking
predates it.
hate that game. I really do.
It's not a bad game,
Yeah, but everybody, you don't understand.
but
Coming
everybody,
up with a nickname around the same time period, everyone just assumed that I got that nickname from that game, and it was actually coined by a friend of mine. Don't know why he coined it, but it stuck. And so, just the idea that I would copy a mediocre game, at least I don't know. I don't know. If I were going to do that, I'd go by Cyborg Justice. That's what I would have went by. But then I would have joined Daft Punk. But no.
That's my new nickname. I'm taking it.
Nice. Cyborg Justice. So anyway, fine people of the internet realm, we are going to be trying to do these podcasts on no specific schedule. We're looking at probably one a month, more or less. It all depends on when we can line up our schedules. And we all work 3 very different jobs, and they all have very different hours. And it's not going to be easy. We'll see what we can do for ourselves to get this done, but we will make do as we can. And we're going to talk about a variety of topics. We're just going to go through a set we've got here, and we'll just make this kind of a test run, if you will. This is the first episode, but it's us testing stuff out. So bear with us as it's a little rough, but we'll get there. Oh, we'll get
Pilot
there.
Honestly,
episode,
though-
as it were.
Honestly, though, whenever we get together, everything's like a test run because it's just one big clusterfuck. If there's one thing I've learned talking to these two guys for... How long have we known each other now, guys? A decade?
10 years. Yeah.
9 or 10
10
years,
years.
yeah.
That is
Jesus.
insane. I know,
Actually,
right?
guys, it's 9 years because I started talking to Zoop in early 2003, and then I contacted Round the Wheel not long after, and up to that point he was all like, man, fuck that Brian Sulphur guy.
I'm still like that, except
Yeah.
now I just like you.
Yeah, that's true.
But still,
That's
I'm
true.
like, fuck that guy.
All right, so first things first, something that, since it's the time of year and there's lots of new games coming out and things happening, and just lots of information being released by companies that aren't releasing their games now, but they don't want them to be lost in the shuffle, figured we could look at a few gaming news topics, if you will, some new stuff that's coming out. And the first thing this week that's been huge in among my circle of friends, not me personally because I don't really play them, but big for them is Grand Theft Auto 5. There's a lot of details emerging about this game right now. Now, I don't think either of you really know much about what's coming for that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
I
Well,
never even played 3.
Well, I've at least played that one.
No, yeah. Out of my wheelhouse totally.
Yeah, actually, Zoop sent me Grand Theft Auto 4, and I played it. Got about 8.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. You sent it to me for like my birthday or Christmas or something crazy.
See, that's usually what I always do, though, is I always send you this crap, and I'm usually like, come on, man, just play something new for once. Would you please just fucking play something new? I'm just sitting there like shaking you by the shoulders, trying to get you into something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that would be one of them. I usually for the holidays send you a game, and I guess that would have been it, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact thing you sent it for when you did, but I played it and I got about.
I think it had to do with you being voted the prom queen.
I think that was it. I actually,
that
not only was I prom queen, but I lost my virginity that night.
Oh.
So you
And I was
right
the
on
dumpster
board.
baby that came from that. So thank God Brian was the prom queen.
Wow, we're off to a rip roar here. So anyway, to finish this Grand Theft Auto 4 thing real quick, I played about 8 to 10% of the game, like for completion stuff, and I just never played it again. I don't know what it was about the game. It wasn't because your cousin calls you every 5 minutes, like everyone complains about. It wasn't the color palette, which is almost all like varying colors of brown,
80s.
which I despise in modern gaming.
Which, by the way,
no, I'm thinking of. Never mind. I'm thinking of Vice City. I'm an idiot. Keep going.
Vice City was like the 1980s puked all over.
Yeah.
It was great.
Because I was all 80s. Duh, that's the one.
Yeah, I often call that color pattern the Gears of War pattern.
Yeah, that's totally where it gained real prominence.
Yeah. It's like the wheel on that one, the color wheel for that. Instead of going from all these bright and shiny colors, it's just like black and shit brown, and then
grays, and
then
ugly
somewhere in the
greens
middle, it's just some awful type of. I just ate a full pizza and I drank nothing but gallons of liquor, diarrhea color, right in the middle. It's just awful.
That sounds like a good Friday night.
It does.
So anyway, moving on to just actually what we're supposed to be talking about, because hey, there's no actual real rules to this.
No,
Grand
there's
Theft Auto 5. The two main things I saw looking at information this week that I was very impressed with was that there's going to be multiple characters.
That's what I noticed just looking at the art. It looks like there's 3 playable characters.
There's 3 playable characters. Now, there's no information out about how these 3 characters will interact. It might be you play one guy to a certain point, then you're playing another person to a certain point. It might be that you can play any of the 3, and the other 2, it'll change the story a bit and how they behave. Like the potential in this idea could be it's off the charts, right? Like the ceiling is a 10, but the floor for this, if it's a failure, is about a -6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this could make or break this game horribly.
They'll do it right.
Greatly.
It completely changes up the way that the game is laid out. I mean, you're talking about something. Resident Evil actually just did this. Resident Evil 6 came out, and there's 6 total because the co-op. But there's 3 different campaigns that sort of intertwine in the in the new Resident Evil, and I absolutely cannot stand it. I don't think that's why, mind you. I don't believe that's why at all. But it's definitely a roll of the dice.
Nobody really liked that game, as I understand it.
Resident Evil 6? Yeah. It's
Well, my question, Dave,
Massive crash
since you are a dyed-in-the-cloth old-school Resident Evil fan, I'm assuming that the series for you started to really, really nosedive around 4, right? That they changed kind of the focus? Or did you enjoy 4?
I love 4 and I love 5.
Oh, wow.
I basically, here's how I separated it, right? I'm a realist. That's something that I pride myself on. I saw the change coming, and I realized there's nothing you can do about it. Sit back, take it for what it is. And so immediately whenever 4 came out, I saw how it was planning out and everything, and I said, you know what? I'm going to section off the old Resident Evil with the new Resident Evil. The old Resident Evil, it's amazing for what it is. I'll go back and I'll play those games 1,000 times over, and I have. But the new Resident Evil is... You have to realize that it's like 2 different series. That's how I break it up in my mind. The old Resident Evil, great for what it is. The new Resident Evil, also great for what it is. The main reason that Resident Evil 6, in my mind, is mediocre... Now, keep in mind, I'm probably, 4 or 5 hours into the game. It's just it's a chore to play it, is the problem. But the main reason, though, that it's a failure is the story is diluted. first and foremost. You don't really know what's going on with it. And the gunplay... I've shot a zombie like 12 times in the fucking skull, and it's still standing and coming after me. I'm running out of bullets. There's not enough healing items. I've got it on the normal difficulty. I played all those games on the normal difficulty, some on the hardest ones. And it's just unrealistic. It feels like... It feels like a clusterfuck for the sake of being a clusterfuck. I get that they want to go, oh, hey, it's a big city and it's littered with zombies and... You know, you could die at any moment, but it's the type of thing that's not fun, though. Not the way that they presented it. I mean, I'm sure it can be, but not the way that they presented it. It's just not a fun ordeal to go through, you know. And the fact that it's taking 18 bullets to take down one zombie and you're fighting 5 at one time, and you've got 80 bullets total. I don't know. It's something that they got away from. They tried to mix it up and it failed. And that ultimately is going to be a big roll of the dice for Rockstar with Grand Theft Auto 5, I feel.
Interesting. So the other thing for Grand Theft Auto 5 that I found interesting, just from a standpoint of I know something about the series, is that this one is going to be back in, I can't remember what they call it, but I guess San Andreas, essentially. It's going to be back out there. You're going to be in like 2 of the cities that were in that game.
In the California one, right?
Yeah, you're going to be on the California location. And apparently the street that the gang that you controlled in San Andreas is actually in the game, but so far there's no confirmed inclusion of any of the surviving members of that gang from San Andreas, unfortunately.
Interesting.
But it's going to be out in Vinewood.
Yeah, there you go. The San Andreas, I think, was a phenomenal game, because I always wanted to live out my fantasy of being Disney's The Rocket Man and putting on a backpack and blasting off to the mountaintops.
Wait, the Rocket? Don't you mean the Rocketeer?
Oh, that's it. God damn it! It completely ruined my great joke. Oh man! Now who's gonna laugh at this? Fuck this! I'm done with you guys. I'm out of here.
So who had 12 minutes in the pool?
We're scrapping the whole thing and starting over. This time say Rocketeer, damn it!
Stop it! Just go along with me next time. Don't even fucking correct my mistakes, Brian.
Rocketeer. Break it up if you have to into pieces, but get it right.
Jesse.
What?
I'm not sure if you're hearing it correctly over the line here, but it sounds like, and bear with me on this, it sounds like Zoop is rocketing tears out of his eyes because he's crying so hard that he was wrong.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, that is. Whoa!
Did you just squeeze a baby? What the hell was that?
One of my many traits is my ability to laugh and cry. Like, a lot of times you can't really tell the difference between laughing and crying.
No, jeez, that sounded
that was fucking bizarre, dude. You sounded like a real baby.
Thank you.
Totally.
Thank you. I in fact, little golf clap for myself.
Take that shit to Hollywood. You can be in, like, straight to DVD Baby Geniuses 5.
I love the idea of me just crawling around in a diaper. It wouldn't even be like a CGI thing. That would just be like, all right, put the fat guy in the diaper. And then I'd just go over there and I'd be like, all right, what is my motivation?
You're a baby.
You're a genius. You're a baby. You've got duty in your pants.
Hit it.
By God, I think I have duty in my pants.
Brilliant. Jesus.
And scene.
Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about, guys, something that's pretty big in the news and coming out very soon.
Speaking of things for babies, am I right, guys?
I know.
The Nintendo
You're right.
Wii U. So, simply put, Zoop, your thoughts on the Wii U?
No. I'm passing the ball to Jesse here.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
All right,
that's a
I
liberty
haven't
that
seen
we have
much
in
of
this
the Wii U in action, but here's a bad sign: is that there's a kiosk at my job where they have one that you can play, and I keep forgetting to check it out.
Ooh.
Damn, that's not good.
And all I really know about is the new Super Mario Brothers game that's going to be on it, which looks gorgeous. from what I've seen.
Yeah, it does.
High def, baby.
And it's slightly backwards. You know how usually you got to go save Peach at Bowser's Castle? Well, this time Bowser comes to Peach's castle and he blasts you off far away, and you got to get back to the castle. So that counts as clever for Nintendo. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that for Nintendo, for Nintendo, that's Baby Geniuses 5 right
That's
there.
fucking subversive, you guys.
Brian, if I may bust out a wrestling reference, which like 3 users are going to actually understand. That's a Vince Russo swerve, if you will.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Iron Fury right now is just marking out.
Hi, all the wrestling nerds out there. Me and Brian go back with that shit. It's our white trash heritage.
Oh, it's absolutely.
But
So yeah, my own thoughts about the Wii U. I haven't seen enough of it to really understand. Like, is it just basically a couple of Wii's strapped together that has like an iPad that you can control stuff, or is this like a legit new thing from Nintendo that's going to really
It's like a stretched out
revolutionize
controller with a tablet in the middle of it.
Yeah,
is my understanding.
Like, I'm not sure what to think of it and how to, it's still got some of the, it doesn't have motion sensing per se, but it's got you have to hold it up at the screen at points, and I don't know. To me, when I play a game, and the Wii, I enjoy, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed playing with my Wii. I mean, what? But
2006 jokes.
Yeah, well, at least I didn't say that the black Wii's bigger than the white Wii, so there is that.
Fair enough.
I've gone 6 years without hearing that joke.
So anyway, get back to saying, I enjoy the games I have for Nintendo Wii. I enjoy playing it, and it's good in a party setting. Like, I've had a ton of fun with lots of different people playing the Nintendo Wii. The thing is that when I come home from a long day working, or whatever, and I want a game, I want to sit on my couch, and I want to hold a controller lackadaisically, resting on my lap, and play a game.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Well, maybe you'll be able to do that if
around.
it's such a honking big piece of
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, but
machinery
they're talking.
that you're able to, set it on your lap like a TV tray or something. You can. I'm sure there will be some kind of drawing capability with it. If they're smart, but. See, it'll still be pick up and play. Like me personally, I don't care about console gaming anymore. Any new system I'm ever going to get is going to be a handheld. Like, I just got a 3DS, and I am totally gung-ho about that thing. But I really got nothing for this Wii U. Like, I can't care about playing a game on a tablet. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I'm a family man. I got priorities.
Yeah, same here. I don't have a kid, but yeah, I've got priorities too.
Here's the thing, though, Jesse, is that I don't see it as a tablet at all. I see it as a controller that works a lot like a handheld. And since you're saying that you would play nothing but handhelds, it seems to be right up your alley, actually.
But see, Dave, here's the thing.
I don't know anything about it though. I'm admitting I don't know much about the Wii U right now, so it may very well be that.
Yeah,
I guess it will depend on what the developers think of.
One of the things that I really like about the Wii U, and I'm usually the last person to compliment Nintendo. You guys can verify that.
Absolutely.
The one thing that I really like about the Wii U is the fact that let's say you're in a household without a DVR. I'm not, because I'm an American. But
fuck you.
But let's say you are in a household without a DVR. Let's say the missus comes around and she goes, "Oh, I want to watch Ghost Rapers 5000 on the Discovery Channel, because that's what we discover now is Ghost."
Okay, Dave, seriously, get the spy camera out of my house. This is frightening.
And let's say she comes in and she goes, "Oh, I want to see Ghost Penetration," and then you go, "Oh, do you have to? I'm playing a game." Now, basically, you click a button or something like that. I haven't played it personally, but I've seen video. You click a button, do something like that, and whatever is on the screen immediately goes to the handheld. And the Wii U becomes a handheld console instead of what is on the TV. Therefore, she can go and she can switch and she can watch Ghost Gangbangs all day long, whatever it is that she does. I'm not going to judge, to each their own. But you can actually continue playing your thing, and it actually works with Wii Fit, too. And Wii Fit, if you're working a good regimen on Wii Fit or something like that, that stuff, oh my god, that can take hour and a half, and if you're doing it multiple times in a week, it's the type of thing that you no longer have to worry about inconveniencing other people in your house. Now, if you're a bachelor or somebody who has your own TV, you don't have to worry about that. If you're a kid in school, you live with your parents, you got your own TV, then I don't really know how well that feature would suit you.
Spoiled brats with their own TVs in their rooms.
I know, right? We didn't have that shit when we were kids. We had milk cartons.
Actually, I did have a TV, but I had to share it with my 3 brothers. We did have cable, so I had to do over-the-air antenna, and it was a 40-some-year-old TV that was black and white.
Now, see,
so
you're
not really.
Yeah, that's close to my experience. Like, I had a TV, but you couldn't watch TV on it. You could only do things. So
I could press the power button on an awful lot.
You could press the power button. You could watch movie. You could watch movies, but you couldn't watch TV.
Now, see, I feel like that would hamper your experience, Brian, simply because all of your brothers would be kicking the shit out of you trying to get the Wii U as opposed to wanting the television itself.
True.
Yeah.
Or you could just get one of your subs to send it to you.
See, there you go. Brian slams. Boom!
Yeah, I actually had that offer from somebody it wasn't for a Wii U.
It wasn't for a Wii U.
It was for a PS3, and it was like, you're not getting me a brand new PS3. You're not doing that. I'm sorry, you are not doing that for me.
I'm an adult man.
Anyway,
I can make my own.
Anyway, guys, we got to move on here to the next one. This one I expect a long and in-depth one sentence. Halo 4.
Fuck that shit!
Yeah, I'm on board. Fuck that shit. I don't care. It's Halo. Don't play it.
In all honesty, guys, we're going to pull the curtain back a little bit. Me and Brian were going over the topics of what we were going to address before this, and
you're breaking the fourth wall. You're breaking the fourth wall.
Breaking the fourth wall a little bit. And he was like, I don't even think we should touch on Halo 4. And I said, nah, go ahead and touch on it. I just want to scream, fuck that shit. I just wanted an excuse. No real reason. But.
Nice.
No offense, Halo people. You're fine.
No, Halo's okay. I played it with people. It's not a game that interests me enough that I'm going to go out of my way to play it.
Exactly. We're getting all PC here. We should have just left it at fuck that shit. But, I don't want to offend anybody.
So, the last one, I want to look at gaming news and topics. Mainly because Jesse is a big fan of Super Smash Bros. Melee. I wanted to touch base on...
Thank you for making that distinction, because...
No, I know you're not a Brawl fan.
Yes.
I wanted to touch
Melee
on this because of Sony All-Stars Battle Royale. I wanted to get his thoughts on it. He didn't even know the roster. I sent him the roster a while ago, just to kind of say, this is what they've got, and it's more or less a Smash Brothers game. There's going to be some
really
differences.
Judging it on here.
Yeah. I mean, and I remember Smash fans, when this was announced, were irate, like, you can't rip that off. It's like, guys, it's just another genre of fighter. Somebody was going to do it eventually. Yeah. Calm down.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers wasn't even the first to it. You had Power Stone on the Dreamcast before that.
Exactly.
I was going to bring that up. Good point.
Exactly. Not that I knew that. But yeah, your thoughts, Jesse.
Brian,
well, the first thing I noticed is that there's one woman on the entire roster, and she's the Fat Princess.
Wow.
That's going to go over really well on, Jezebel Feminista land.
Yeah. Val may be holding up a sign.
You can play as all your favorites, like Colonel Radek and Nariko and Toro Inoue. Man, brings me back.
No, it really does, doesn't it?
I will say that
wasn't fair. I picked the most obscure.
Yeah,
characters I could find.
Jesse, I will say for that. You look at Smash Brothers Melee. Who the hell knew who Marth and Roy were?
Correct.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But by putting them in the game, they
raise
popularized the characters enough that Fire Emblem started getting North American releases.
That is a great
what?
point,
I now officially have a reason to love the Smash Brothers series. They brought me Fire Emblem.
There you go.
There you go. Look at the good that came from this podcast already.
I know, right?
Even if it was selfish and between us.
I can't wait to go get Heavenly Sword now, you guys.
Yeah, like this Toro Inoue character is from something called Together Everywhere. Nobody would have played that if it wasn't for this game. But now if Toro is a cool character, everybody's going to be like, I got to play Together Everywhere.
I'm going to drop a little knowledge on you. Together Everywhere isn't even available in the United States, but
It didn't seem like it, because why would you keep the Japanese name in? Well, there's Heihachi in there, so.
yeah. But here's another thing though. With that is a Japanese exclusive game, and from what I gather, the Toro character is a some sort of mascot for Sony in Japan. So and Sony dominates Japan compared to Microsoft and things like that. So it made a lot of sense to put him in from that perspective. It may seem really incredibly stupid to us, but I mean, so did Marth and whatever the hell the other guy's name is. So
Roy.
Yeah, Roy.
I think this roster is too big, though. How many characters do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 20 characters in here.
But
they could have gone with like a 12, like the original Smash, and been just fine. They've really stretched here.
The other thing that I'm noticing is
who
that
remembers being.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, who remembers being Spike from Ape Escape? I mean, I do, because I love Ape Escape.
I was going to say I love Ape Escape. I have no qualms.
Just the first one, though. I love the first one. I never played any of those.
About just a good touch on Ape Escape, it seems like one of those games that almost everyone knows to a degree. So I mean, that makes sense. It's what's the word? It's got notoriety.
Seminal game.
It's got notoriety. Yeah, it's just one of those. Even if you haven't played it, like I've never played the Ape Escape.
Well, the thing about Ape Escape was the big deal about Ape Escape was you had the analog only control. Like you did almost everything with the analog sticks, and nobody did that.
No one
did.
did.
And it was a huge gamble, and it worked perfectly.
It did.
And then nobody ever did it again.
Yeah, it's strange. It
was bizarre. Like people were saying, like this is going to revolutionize how you interact with your PlayStation controller. And then Ape Escape is the only game where you do that. I don't even think the future Ape Escapes do it.
Let me go ahead and correct you there, and a little throwback to my YouTube days. So if there's any subscribers out here, little wink and a nod at you, and a little nudge, and a little crotch feel up. But
they're there.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. But Katamari Damacy also controlled.
Is all analog?
All analog. So
that was also a Sony game.
Well, kind of, sort of.
No. Well,
originally, and then they stretched out.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a Sony game.
Okay, so yeah.
It wasn't a Sony game, but here's the thing, though. I'm looking at this list, and like you have characters from Devil May Cry, and Devil May Cry's on the Xbox. Do you have characters from BioShock? BioShock was originally an Xbox exclusive. You've got, where's the other one? Tekken? I mean, Tekken's on the Xbox now. I realized that back in the day...
Tekken's on everything.
Yeah, exactly. I realized back in the day that Tekken, and Sony back around the original PSX, that was, they had a decent bond there. But, I mean, you have characters, another one, where did I find it? Raiden from Metal Gear. There's another one. Metal Gear is a multi-platform game as well. I know that
Metal Gear.
But yeah,
it's funny that Raiden's in there, but they already wasted Snake on Brawl.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like,
we were gonna have Snake, but you know how that goes.
What a shitty consolation prize.
But why not put Big Boss in that? At least make it like
I know, right? Right? You could either do Big Boss
or Gray Fox, maybe. You know what I mean? Like
Jesse mentioned a lack of female characters, and in the history of video games, I don't care who wants to argue this. It's inarguable, in my opinion. The best female character in the history of video games is the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3. A strong, independent woman. My girlfriend is a feminist, and she fucking loves the boss. Why not put her in there instead? You have one female character, and her fucking name's Fat Princess. Why not put a strong, independent female in there instead of Raiden, who,
anyway.
might I add, is also a strong, independent female? Zing!
Dave, I'm sorry, I have to correct you there, but Bruce Springsteen has a penis.
I see what you did there. I got you. I know what you did.
That said, no one under the age of 25 knows who Bruce Springsteen is, so I just wasted that joke.
No, he's the Obama guy to everybody else who's too young.
If they wanted to throw a female character in here that's Sony, they should have done Vibri from Vibribin.
Yeah, there you go.
There's another Japanese game that...
Yeah.
I always wanted to play that game, and I never got to.
Might be a little obscure. I was thinking, since we're stretching the boundaries...
That'd be like a Game & Watch character, Mr. Game & Watch. That'd be like the PlayStation version of Game & Watch.
You know what would have been great, though, is like a little Easter egg. And I know, again, that these characters sprawled out to other consoles, but shit, most of these characters did. But why not put old favorites, try to get the rights back to them, back to Sony? Why not put in old favorites like Spyro the Dragon or Crash Bandicoot?
Absolutely.
I mean,
why not?
Back in
Spyro,
1999, whenever... Go ahead.
He's on the downward Spyro, if you get my drift.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the thing, though. By incorporating
terrible.
these things, these guys were Sony icons, man. If you owned a PlayStation, those were games to own.
Yeah, why the fuck isn't Crash Bandicoot in this game?
Right? Go back to 1998. Whenever you consider Sony, who is the one character you would think of in 1998, whenever Sony was first gaining momentum?
Lara
Crash
Croft.
Bandicoot.
Fucking Crash. Lara Croft. Again, though, why not?
And
Why
Lara
not
Croft.
put? Why not?
Yeah, where's Lara Croft?
Yeah. Why not fucking put that? Exactly. You need more female characters. Why not do that?
I mean, okay.
Even
my
if they have
my
big
question,
Bajunga
Brawl, that doesn't have like Sonic in it, does it?
Yeah, it
Or
does.
is he, okay, he's in that one. I was going to say, like, why not fish to Sega
He's
for a
one of
little
the
bit?
worst characters, too.
Okay, well, that's fine. But you know what I mean? Like, why not fish out to Sega for a few of their guys? Because other than Sonic, they have no one in Brawl, right? Like, why not go get, give me some Sega characters.
Samba
to
Day
throw in.
Here's a question. Name a Sega character that isn't Sonic the Hedgehog.
I actually
Challenge
had-
accepted. You have Alex Kidd. You
Nice.
have the monkey from Samba de Amigo. You have Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh, I
You
love
have,
Toe Jam and Earl.
the
or
kid
how
from
about
Kid
this?
Chameleon. You got Echo the Dolphin. I don't know how he's going to work out of water.
Here's
Good luck
the-
trying.
guys. No. Here's my question. I mean, okay, let's go beyond that. Why don't you fish it out to someone like Ubisoft? Why don't you go get one of the guys from Assassin's Creed? Why don't you go
get
get
Rayman.
the rabbits for God's sakes?
Rayman. Why not get Rayman?
Yeah, Rayman. Like,
yeah.
there's a lot
Rayman
of
was another
characters you could
staple for Sony, if I recall correctly.
I think what we've learned here is that every company needs to make a game like this.
I
This takes their
think what
stable
we
of
learned
characters
here
and pits
is
them against
that
each other.
with a brief knowledge, I probably have more knowledge than you guys do about. Wait a minute. Where the fuck is Eco in this? Where's Eco? Where is fucking?
Oh!
Where is Wander from
Or
Shadow
Wander,
of the
yeah.
Colossus? What the fuck?
Well, they weren't very.
wow,
they
the
weren't
Colossus
very,
guy would have been perfect.
That would have, right?
Well, I can see why they're not actually. They're not very. They're more introspective, quiet characters. You don't see them
Here-
just pop out. Well, you see them taking down Colossuses and everything, but
Here's the
not-
thing,
but
though.
Okay,
Those aren't
I'm sorry.
fighting
I'm sorry.
secret.
I'm sorry, but Solid Snake, he run around going, "Look at me, I'm fucking crazy." No, he's a quiet, inspective guy. He just happens to kill people.
Yeah.
Same as the Colossus guy. Why not?
all right.
Here's my thing, though, right? Whenever you think of, like, the 5 greatest Sony games ever made, Shadow of the Colossus is always in the top 5. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, if that's what you're known for, I'm sure there's some Nintendo examples. Not all of them
That's
are...
the game. That's the game that everybody takes to Roger Ebert when they're trying to convince him
Right.
that video games are art.
Right, but he's too
Even
old
though
and
those people
senile
haven't
to
learned by
understand
now
anything. Yeah, exactly.
Although it should be obvious by now that he's just trolling everybody.
Yeah, I think he's a lot like the people who are against gay marriage. They're always going to be against gay marriage, but the good news is that eventually they'll die, and then a new generation of people will come through and rise up and bring fucking civility and not argue about non-issues. That's more or less Roger Ebert.
Yeah, they
with that.
can think what they want. They're just going to look silly in 20 years.
Exactly.
Anyway, boys, I hate to cut this off because this is a fantastic conversation, but we got to move on here.
Yeah,
so,
we do.
Our next thing was we want to talk about something mainly you guys wanted to wax poetic about would be PlayStation Magazine shutting down and Nintendo Power shutting down recently.
Well, we're a little late on the Nintendo Power train, but it ties in.
Yeah, both of them have shut down recently though, and it's really kind of sad.
What's especially sad is I was working a really plush job about 18 months ago, and they flew me out to San Francisco. It was a job with Future US, the company that makes I should say.
A job with future or a job with a future?
Well, see that it's an ironic title for a company, but But no, all kidding aside, I love the people at Future. I only had good experiences with them. But the bad, again though, an ironic title for the company that produced the official PlayStation magazine and Nintendo Power up until their dying days. I was flown out there, and the headquarters was just such a nice place, and I talked to all these people, you know, and I made the rounds, introduced myself, because that's, you know, in any business, I feel like that's what you're supposed to do, and it's just sad thinking of all these guys, and not the young guys who just got into it, but the guys who are twice my age, you know, I mean, you know, you got these guys that are in their late 50s, early 60s. And, you know, they've been around for so long, and all of a sudden, boom, now they're back to square one. And it's not just the tradition of these magazines. I mean, because Nintendo Power, I know towards the end there, I'm not even sure if they were the official Nintendo magazine. It may have been like a thing sort of like PSM, to where it was an independent PlayStation magazine as opposed to the official PlayStation magazine. But it's so funny, though, because we think the word official, and we think that it has some sort of big tie-in with the company. And, you know, it's kind of naive, but you sort of assume that they're untouchable, they're bulletproof, right? I mean, if they're associated with the companies, and the companies are doing well, then how, you know, it's sort of funny on that level. But it's really sad on the level of seeing all these guys that I was just talking to a little over a year ago, and how none of them have jobs. And it really, it has a lot of gravity to this situation, because you're thinking, God, me personally, anyway, and I'm sure all the people who were laid off, because I was also laid off from that the job that I was flown out there for. But all these people, though, who are now without jobs, and you're seeing a magazine. If Nintendo Power and the official PlayStation magazine go under, what does that mean for the rest of publication? You know? You have all these guys.
Go to the internet.
Yeah, that's what that means.
But the internet, think of internet sites right now that do gaming. What are you thinking of? GameSpot? IGN?
Kotaku?
Well, Kotaku's like the TMZ of
yeah, it's true.
News. Fuck those guys.
But that's where they're going to end up going. I mean,
well, you got sites coming up like Gameological and Polygon.
One Up
They're
Gaming.
really good. One Up.
IGN. Wait, no.
One Up is owned by IGN. That brings it to another point. All these big companies are siphoning the energy from all the smaller ones. GameFAQs now owned and operated under CNET, and that's
CBS Interactive.
CBS.
Oh, is that what it is now? Yeah.
Yeah,
companies buying up companies. It's all just.
Fox
There's a lot of
IGN,
Big Bang Theory cross promotion. It's very tacky.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Little bit.
yeah,
Maybe.
but you know, I mean, you have all these guys and people like me sitting there going, "Shit, what industry did we get into? Because it's drying up. It's going away. It's not going to sit here. It's not going to evolve." Because here's the thing: why would you go to a website for, let's say, Nintendo Power, whenever IGN has all the exclusives, whenever GameSpot has all the exclusives? Why would you go to those sites? Yeah, sure, they may get an exclusive thrown to them here or there, but the public relations people, they're not going to go, oh, your site gets 30,000 views a month. That's cute. Here's you a little speckle of information. Here's you one exclusive screenshot, as opposed to going to IGN where you have 32 million people unique visiting a month, and they know that their product is going to get more spotlight. So why would you go to, let's say, Nintendo Power, which is going to get 30,000 views, and screw up your political relationship with a GameSpot or something like that, to where they go, well, we wanted that, so now we're going to give the coverage to some other game? No, the public relations people aren't going to do that. They're not going to lay down and die simply for doing the right thing and spreading the wealth. They want their game, and thus they want to look good. You know, they want their game to receive the biggest spotlight. Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't
you have to reach the widest audience possible. And to put those numbers into perspective, 30,000 people is like the size of a small city.
Yeah.
And the 32 million you mentioned for IGN, unique people a month, that's just slightly smaller than the population of Canada.
Exactly. And you're
small city. first world country.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so you guys know, I would like to take some time to plug HonestGamers.com.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Actually, he's got a funding campaign going on right now. You can it's on GoFundMe. He's trying to get money to fund the site independently. So
without advertising.
I agree with that. That guy is doing the Lord's work.
That
Jason
guy,
Venter.
Yeah, Jason Venter. What is his Twitter handle, Jesse? Do you have it handy?
Jason Venter.
At Jason Venter. Okay, that's VENTER.
That dude busts his ass, and he gets peanuts.
He does not get much.
He does not get much, and he is one of the last people in this industry that I actually look up to, because this industry has become just a frat boys fuckfest. It's awful. You see people who in this industry who just want to have fun, and
but all you single kids with disposable incomes, you need to go support Jason Venter.
You really do. And now that I know that, I'll go and I'll.
Honest Gamers, that's an honest plug.
Yeah, that is.
I'm getting paid in a week. I might kick in some cash for that.
Yeah.
You know what we need? We actually need to do a couple of videos to promote this and talk about Jason Venter a little more in detail, because the man is awesome.
I bet you anything we could get him on here too.
Down the line, we just might if there's some interest. It would be absolutely. So
So
anyway, you're talking about what the industry is nowadays, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, something that we want to do here on the podcast as a regular thing, guys, is that I've got old gaming magazines. I've got old Nintendo Powers going back to the single-digit volumes, up to about volume 180, and I kind of just want to read something from them each week and just kind of look back at when the media was just more innocent and fun and not driven as what we were just talking about. And for this particular section, I actually found something that predated Nintendo Power, which was the Nintendo Power the Nintendo Power Club. And this is from spring 1989, which is probably older than some of you listening to this. And
I was 4 at the time.
Yeah, I was 9 when this came out, and I remember finding these in the mailbox 4 times a year was just amazing. And what I want to do is read you a couple letters from these, just to cover the hilariousness of these, and that you guys, after I'm done reading the letter and then the response from the editor, I want you to tell me whether these were made up or real, because some of these, there's no way these are real, no way. Okay. So here we go.
Hold on. I'm going to interrupt you. Just so you know, that is a tactic that people use.
Absolutely they do that. I mean, I just assumed that when I was like 9.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So
here we go.
Very well could be just made up bullshit.
And that's what I want to ask your gut feeling.
Okay.
So, dear Nintendo, in school I was doing very bad. It was near the end of the year and I was about to fail if I failed another test. I asked my dad if he would buy me a Nintendo, because that's a good segue in a letter. But he said no. I begged him all week, and he finally made me a deal. He said if I worked really hard in school and I passed, he would buy me a Nintendo. Well, every night I was up studying instead of watching TV because I wanted a Nintendo so bad. I worked hard until the end of the year, and finally the report cards came out. I could hardly believe it. I passed. The school was amazed. Everyone congratulated me. I know.
The school.
I got home and showed my dad. He almost flipped. But he kept his promise and bought me a Nintendo. I have learned a lesson from all of this. Instead of being lazy, I work hard at everything I do. In fact, thanks to the Nintendo, I am practically a straight A student. Thanks again. And here is the response from the editor. We've always believed that the NES is an educational toy. Just look at what it does for your hand-eye coordination. And then there are the other lessons it can teach you, as you'll find out in this next letter, which I'm going to read in a moment. So how fake is that?
This is a commercial. This isn't a letter.
Here's
Also, the letter reads like a Goosebumps book.
It totally does.
Here's my favorite part, right? Go back to the part where about the school being amazed. Please read that again.
Okay. All right. So finally the report cards came out. I could hardly believe it. I passed. The school was amazed. Everyone congratulated me.
I love the idea of like the principal going like, "What? Henderson? That fucking idiot? He did it! And then they, like, put up banners and fucking fireworks go off outside. He did it! He's not clinically retarded! We all thought he was, but he's not! And then they, like, hoist him up on their shoulders and parade him around the school. And all the bullies who were going to pick on him go, no, he did it. He did it. Oh, my God. Jesse nailed that, actually. That's a commercial.
And the letter said, the school was amazed. Not the people in the school. The school itself. Ecstasy just wafted from its pores when he got that A!
I think my favorite part, actually, I like the idea that, like, the school as a whole, like, every single person that comprised the school system, the teachers, the fucking lunch lady was just hysterical. She was orgasmic over this. Don't eat the potatoes tomorrow.
So, guys, the question is, real or fake?
Commercial. It's fake.
Commercial. Fake.
Real fake.
So, here's the next letter, and I'll read one more after this, but this letter I wasn't going to read till I just scanned it now. I have to read it.
Okay. Dear
Nintendo, I want to thank you for your excellent and addictive games. 2 weeks ago, that addiction prevented a possible house fire. So, I'm going to pause. How in the hell could an addiction to Nintendo save from a possible house fire?
Because he was sitting there. He was sitting there, and he saw his mother's crack pipe, which is her addiction, fall onto the carpet, and it caught fire. And because he was addicted to Nintendo, he was at the house. So he saw it, and he quickly threw his mom on top of the fire, and thus prevented the house from burning down.
Honestly, what you just outlined is a more plausible scenario. I'm going to read to you what it says.
I can't wait.
I woke up at 1 a.m. and couldn't get back to sleep, so I crept downstairs to try my luck at Rad Racer. As I turned on my NES,
game in 10 minutes.
Try my luck at it. Oh boy.
As I turned on my NES, I noticed a burning smell coming from the kitchen. I ran in and saw that someone had left the burner on the stove turned on all night. I quickly turned it off. Quickly, because it'd been on for hours, but if I'd been slower, the whole house gone in a fireball.
I just thought of another great scenario for this.
Natural gas.
Oh, Dave, you can't, man. You're going to kill me. Let's finish this.
Well, this one's a little more logical.
I quickly turned it off. If I hadn't had that urge to play my Nintendo Entertainment System, a deadly fire could have started.
It could have.
After that, I got up to the last track in Rad Racer without continuing. Thanks again!
Oh, man, all 9 minutes. I love the idea, though, that this kid prevented this fire, because I love the idea that the fire came from the NES itself. He turned it up and it just started sparking, and he's like, if I hadn't have been there to not play that, oh, man.
So here's the response for the editor. Woo, I've heard of burning the midnight oil, but that's a little too close for comfort.
His mama was burning the midnight oil.
However,
if it wasn't for the deadly fire in his loins, there would have been a deadly fire in his house.
However, there are two good things to come out of your story, Patrick. First of all, you managed to fix the situation before it became a major disaster. And secondly, now midnight video gamers everywhere have a really good excuse for playing all night long. Thanks for the letter.
That's like Sparky the Fire Dog crossed with the guy from Video Power. Like JD Roth. That's like Sparky the Fire Dog and JD Roth from the GamePro TV show.
Oh, man. So funny. So, here's the last letter. The letter from the guy is short, but the answer for the editor is 2 paragraphs long.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, dear Guy Martin, I guess Guy Martin was the editor, Nintendo is the best way possible for some radical action at home. First there was the discovery of fire, then the invention of the wheel, but let's face it, Nintendo beats these discoveries by far.
Let's skip the printing press entirely. Let's go straight to Nintendo. Fire wheel Nintendo.
My best friend Brent and I eat, sleep, and breathe Nintendo.
I'm going to interrupt you, actually. It would figure that this guy's best friend is named Brent. Carry on.
One last thing. The 2-player games are really awesome. So, here's the response. Careful, Mike. It's okay to eat and sleep Nintendo, but you have to be careful about breathing it. Try mixing in just a little bit of air once in a while. But seriously, if you like 2-player games, check out this issue's Rampage review, you too, Josh. And if you want to try a 4-player game, take a closer look at Anticipation.
Oh
seriously?
my god! Fuck that game! I haven't thought of... It's sitting next to me on my tower, actually. I have it in cartridge form. I haven't thought about that game in forever. That's like playing Pictionary with HAL 9000. Like, he knows it before the first line is even finished. You're like, okay, what is this? That's a hot dog cart. Fuck you!
I knew there'd be a reaction to Anticipation. So, the second paragraph
Might you say
reads,
you were anticipating it?
Oh!
Good night, everybody!
Hi-yo.
My work here is done.
go out on a high note. And that
I
does
like
it for
George
yet
Costanza.
another mail. Sorry, this is just the sign-off. I want to read the sign-off, though. That just does it for another mailbag. Keep those cards and letters coming. Tell us about your tips, your local power clubs, and don't forget to write in with your questions about getting through games.
That's what Counselor's Corner is for, not the letters to the editor.
Yeah, no shit.
We're going to
Well,
reroute your letter.
Well, okay, for instance, this magazine
AKA
here
throw
has
away.
a thing on power pads. It's got Super Team games and the world-class track meet. It's got a thing on Anticipation. It's got Rampage. There's an ad in here for Air Fortress and Adventures of Lolo, 2 excellent games.
Nice.
And then
Love
there's the
Lolo.
members forum where they send in tips. This is a crazy, hilarious magazine. Seriously.
You really
It was
need
so-
to scan that. I'm telling you right now. We need to have this in form so the readers can also read it. Because I'll tell you what, that sounds so radical and totally tubular that I feel like you're making shit up.
I am not that creative.
That's Bo
All
Dieter's
right. So, now, just to switch gears from the sappy, sweet, late 80s, early 90s, crazy gaming stuff, we are going to go on to, if we had a little theme song for it, we'd use it right here, but we don't. Iron Sheik Tweets of the Month. For those of you who don't know who the Iron Sheik is, he was a wrestler in the 1980s, and still wrestles a bit, who was the world champion. I think that's the guy Hulk Hogan beat for his first world
It
title.
was.
And he now spends time on Twitter saying ridiculous and horrifying things. So Zoop is going to read some of these tweets, and Jesse and I are going to react to them and just kind of give our thoughts and maybe try to make sense out of them if that's possible.
First and foremost, let me go ahead and plug the Iron Sheik's Twitter account. If you're not following him, you're doing Twitter wrong. He is at _Iron Sheik, and you need to go there. If we had a theme song for this, it would be perfect. Something that he does often is get angry for no reason, and so therefore, amongst the wrestling community, he has he's known for just screaming "fucking" like that, just at random. So if someone wants to put this together and just have it's the Iron Sheik tweets, and just have him go "the fucking" at the end of it, that would just be amazing to me.
That is perfect.
Exactly, yeah. So the Iron Sheik is a little mentally unstable. I've heard rumors that the Iron Sheik's Twitter account is run by his ad agency in Toronto. I don't know if those are true or not. I do like a lot
There's
of
no way.
I do like a lot of Americans with this, though. If there's something that I don't like, I just refuse to acknowledge it. So that's more or less what I do with the Iron Sheik's Twitter account. I just no, it's not fake. La 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 la. Shut up. I don't like logic. La 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 la. So I just assume automatically that the Iron Sheik's Twitter account is absolutely legitimate, coming from the senile old man himself. Don't ask me how a 70-year-old man who is probably brain damaged knows how to operate things on the internet that I just learned about a year ago. Shut up! I don't want to hear this. I don't like logic. Okay? And in most cases I do.
right.
In this I don't. Okay.
Fair enough. We won't call you on that.
I just don't want any of these listeners fucking blowing my worldview apart. Okay. Here we go. This one touches on the election. In case you're American, because most Americans don't vote. There was a big election to decide your president on Tuesday, And Tuesday, November the 6th, in case you're listening to this far off in the distance and we're all dead because the aliens took over, or Iron Sheik took over. So the Iron Sheik had his thoughts about the election. He's very liberal, believe it or not. He's liberal with his cocaine use. He's liberal with his politics, and he's liberal with his dementia. CNN call me to tell me who I vote for the happy election day. I tell them the Mitt Romney have bird shit breath.
What? Please tell me it doesn't read just like that.
It reads like that. There is a period after happy election day, and everything except CNN and Mitt Romney is in lowercase.
Okay, I'm not sure how to react to that. So CNN, I understand they have a lot of different people they get opinions from for their stuff, but really the Iron Sheik is in that Rolodex?
The Iron Sheik, because he's the typical American, you see.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted an everyman to
because most typical Americans pretend to be Iranian for 30 years.
And they're also built like a brick shit house, too. If there's one thing I know about Americans, it's that we're very athletic. But basically, in case you're, I know that you can't really, you can't really make heads or tails of this. I've done the research. You're welcome, America. I've done the research, and the bird shit breath, and that's another thing. The Iron Sheik always says "the" before certain words or people.
It's all
for instance, I tell them the Mitt Romney, that type of thing. But the bird shit breath is a reference to Mitt Romney wanting to close PBS down, which is, as we know, the home of Big Bird and Sesame Street.
Okay.
And so Big Bird and Sesame Street sort of tie into this because he loves them or hates them. I can't really tell, and I don't think most people. I don't think most people can tell if he loves or hates something. If he does love something, though, he calls it the real. And if he does not love something, he calls it the jabroni. And oftentimes...
I thought jabroni was a good thing, but then I started reading about Romney here, and I'm like, no, there's no way.
No. The jabroni
must be bad.
In wrestling, they have people who chronically lose, basically. And they are called jobbers. And jabroni is a variation of the phrase jobber.
Oh, okay.
I never actually knew that when I watched wrestling.
So here's a question. What's a bubba?
A bubba is a good man. That's just me. That would be like me going, "You're my bubba, Jesse. You're my bubba."
Because this tweet says, Chris Berman, intelligent Jew bubba.
That's such a lie.
Also,
fat piece of shit.
Also, he does not think very highly of Jews or gays. Oddly enough, this is something I'm guessing. I was going to say he grew up in Iran, and I think that has something to do with that. I try to let old people, again with the Roger Ebert thing and him not understanding games. I try to let old racist people just be themselves. It's like, okay, they've been racist for 70 years. They're not going to change. They're going to take that shit to the grave. So
yeah.
Nice.
So the other one is. This is a good one. If Romney win, not wins, win. If Romney win, then I shave my mustache and make 40 dogs rape Ultimate Warrior. Thoughts. Bring them on.
Okay, first of all, the Ultimate Warrior's still alive?
He is, and he's a batshit right-wing guy, too, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I heard about him at the University of Connecticut a few years ago, and there was some kind of hubbub about some woman asked him a question, and he more or less made the statement of, "As a woman, you really shouldn't speak to me," sort of thing, and then said about 5 or 6 things that set back relations between men and women about 6,000 years.
Yeah. He's apeshit. Also, Iron Sheik fucking hates the Ultimate Warrior. Just need to put.
I'm not surprised.
Need to throw that out there.
Yeah, just a few below that it says, "For the Thanksgiving, I hope Hulk Hogan get raped in jail by Ultimate Warrior's sister." I've never read his whole page in one shot like this, but when you look at it like that, you never know who he's going after.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because, no idea.
Because
no
there's
idea.
a bunch of Romney stuff here. There's a bunch of Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
people he hates. But then all of a sudden, he'll go off on somebody completely random. Like this says the Zach Braff have birdseed balls.
Oh.
It's like, what did he do?
I know the backstory to that too. I'm writing the biography.
Are you an Iron Sheik historian?
I am. Zach Braff the other day on Twitter said something that I don't know exactly what it was, but he basically put down the writing and storylines of the WWF. And
what?
He's
Zach Braff.
I know, right? Putting down such
literature. The guy who did Garden State is making fun of wrestling writing.
But let me say, the point taken. The fucking wrestling writing is terrible. But either way, Iron Sheik took big offense to it. He doesn't like anybody offending, quote unquote, the boys. The boys being wrestlers of all denominations. So that's something he has immense respect for wrestlers, his brethren, as it were. But yeah, something else that I should mention is that the Iron Sheik does not believe that Hulk Hogan or the Ultimate Warrior deserved to win as many matches as they did. They call that a push in the wrestling world. He feels that they were pushed a little too far. And given their limited ability and their lack of respect for the business, those guys had their own separate dressing rooms. The Iron Sheik never did. He liked to mingle amongst his comrades, etc., etc., etc.
Probably with his dong out.
Probably with his dong out.
Just to intimidate people.
Just so you guys know, and the listeners can get in on this, there is a video on the internet of the Iron Sheik putting Hulk Hogan in the dreaded camel clutch. And he gets the biggest erection I've ever seen in my life right before he puts him in the camel clutch. That fucking dick is the size of my fucking forearm. And it's expanding. God. It's expanding. It's like a dragon waking up and you're like, no, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. I didn't mean to crush your eggs. Yeah, it is absolutely horrifying. It's dreadful. I don't know what keywords to look up. I would just imagine Iron Sheik dong could do it.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's rattle off a few more of these. I already know that Brian's going to like this one, being a Giants fan. The NFL Giants, not the shitty MLB Giants who can go fuck themselves forever. In the words of the Ultimate Sheik, in the words of the Iron Sheik. Tony Romo, go fuck yourself.
Nice.
That's all it says.
That's pretty tame for the Sheik.
There is no punctuation there. It's just all one, just boom, Tony Romo, go fuck yourself.
He must have bet on the Cowboys.
He does this every Sunday, actually. Every Sunday, it's Tony Romo, go fuck yourself. And if the
can't go wrong with that.
If the Cowboys win, he usually says in lesser language that it is in spite of Tony Romo. Tony Romo didn't have anything to do with the Cowboys winning, even if he did.
That's pretty sound, actually.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Val just came in.
And I've spent my whole life razzing the Cowboys. I've never been a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Even when they were winning in the 90s.
Yeah, well, the Cowboys.
I'll back him up on that.
Yeah, the Cowboys are shitty. We'll put it that way. As someone who has no...
They're not America's team anymore, that's for...
Yeah. No, they still trot that out all they can.
Yeah, that's a damn dirty lie. The next one...
And even back then it was a lie. I think the Steelers are probably still the ultimate team out there. Seriously, for fans and just success and everything
probably.
else.
I hate the Steelers, though, due to the old...
I hate them, too.
Due to the old Seahawks thing, you know. But either way, we are digressing, and it's time to get back on track with one of my favorites of the month, and it happened this week, actually. 4 words. It's very simple.
Why are you laughing?
Waffle House dog shit.
So, okay, hold on a minute. So there's no punctuation, right?
No punctuation, just Waffle House dog.
That means he could be calling the Waffle House dog shit. It could be that there is a Waffle House made of dog shit. It could be that the waffles in the Waffle House are made of dog shit. We don't know.
I was thinking. I already know that to him he's probably saying the Waffle House is dog shit. I like the idea though that they're serving a new menu item, and it's only available if you're Iranian. All right. Let's see. This one I think everybody can agree with. And
All right, last one here, Dave.
We're going to do two more, but this one's just going to be fast because
right.
it's something that I wanted to wish everybody good luck in Sandy. Fuck the Hurricane Sandy. She a dumb bitch. There you go. So to anyone listening who's dealing with Sandy, God bless you. You're doing, you're surviving, doing what you gotta do. Keep doing it.
And the Iron Sheik's got your back.
Exactly, Iron Sheik's got your back. And finally, the Little Caesars have bigger dick than the Zach Braff. There you go. Little Caesars, the pizza corporation.
Or the logo, maybe?
The logo? I don't know. I don't know. If it were the corporation, you have to assume that all the male people there, out of all of them, one of them has to have a bigger dick than Zach Braff, right?
Maybe Zach Braff should be hot and ready.
Yep.
If you were hot and ready, then this wouldn't be a problem.
Swish! Yep. That was a three-pointer, my friend.
It was.
Oh, man.
All right, and that concludes the Iron Sheik segment. Fucking!
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
If you want to hear that clip, by the way, of him screaming fucking, go on YouTube and search Botchamania. That's BOTCHAMANIA. And in the intro to all of their videos, at the very end, he screams fucking. So, there you go.
Okay.
Do with that what you will. Brian, what's the next segment that we've got rolling here?
Okay, guys, the next thing was classic old school game chat, and this is where we're just going to, each week or month or whenever we do this year, century, we're going to pick a game that maybe the three of us have all played, maybe some of us have, some of us haven't, and we're going to talk about it. And this week, Jesse said he had a good idea, so Jesse, take it away. What are you talking about?
I learned about a game being released. It's new, but it's not new. But I thought it would be of interest to Brian in particular. They made an HD remake of Karateka for Xbox 360.
Yeah, I've played that game. I've actually always called it Karateka, believe it or not. So that's
I think technically
goofy.
it's Karateka because I saw Wikipedia and apparently that means somebody who practices karate.
Yes, that actually does. That makes total sense. I have no idea. You sound big.
That kind of made sense to me too with the pronunciation.
But it does kind of make sense, yeah. So,
but I thought you would enjoy that because apparently they're remaking it to have a little more replay value. Like you.
So what? More than 3 screens?
Probably. And more than one character, actually, as a matter of fact.
Oh, come on, there's several characters. There's Karate Guy, there's Enemy Karate Guy, there's the... Okay, but let me finish all the characters in the game. There's the asshole eagle, there's the gate of damn near impossible to get through and live through, and then there's the general, you have to kick ass, and then there's the princess. Don't go at her in a fighting stance.
That is a fun video to watch over and over again.
For those of you who don't know, in the game, you alternate between running and fighting pose, and you do this by pressing like up or down. I think it's down. And you basically spend most of the game in the fighting stance, but you always switch to your run to get forward as fast as possible, so you have to fight as few guys as possible. But when you get to after you beat the general, the princess's room is like right there. And when you step in there to talk to her, if you go at her in a fighting stance, she just hauls off and kicks you in the face and kills you. It is a double middle finger from the game designer.
It's not in the new one, though.
Fuck you.
They were like, you can't... apparently, Jordan Mechner was like, you can't surprise people twice with the same joke. So he decided not to include it. But apparently, what you can do is... they have 3 characters that you can... So you basically have 3 lives, is what it is. And... the first character is the princess's true love, and if he dies, then some kind of warrior monk jumps in, and you can play as him, and if the monk dies, there's a character called the Brute. And the idea is to get to the princess as the true love, so you can get, quote-unquote, the best ending.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That adds a little variation and replay.
Yeah, so you try to get better, and I think it could be pretty cool.
Apparently, it's coming out this month, too.
It came out 2 days ago.
Oh, did it really? Well, there you go. Yeah.
That's the most timely I'll ever be with anything.
Yeah,
related to video games.
right.
So
Yeah.
don't expect that again. I learned about it 2 days after it happened. So.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't learn about things until like 2 years later. I'm like, hey guys, check out this 3DS.
Did you see this shit? Oh my god, it's amazing. Yeah, we saw that long ago.
Hey guys, have you heard of this game called Pokemon Blue? It's
and
pretty
it's very
sweet.
blue.
It's very blue.
They did not lie.
It is very, very blue. The only thing that I know about Karateka is that it was created by the same guy who did Prince of Persia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the original Prince of Persia, that is phenomenal gaming, too. Hard as balls.
From what I gather, this game was Prince of Persia was a significant step up from Karateka.
Yeah, this is pretty simple. You just creep forward really slowly, you punch some guys, you keep moving. At some point, a bird tries to attack you.
And rapes you of all your life.
And you just keep moving forward until you get to, I think the bad guy's name is Akuma. And
yeah, General Akuma,
and you fight him.
Or like Shogun Akuma,
yeah,
something
you
like
fight him, and then you win, and that's it.
It's like three.
That's all you needed back then.
Right now, I'm looking at the box art, and this is what I remember about the game, actually, was the box art. Probably for the right reasons. But my favorite thing, though, is that apparently this shit is set in feudal Japan, because there is a Japanese man with traditional samurai garb on, and
sounds about right.
Yeah, the setting looks at. But there is a white kid who looks like the villain from the Karate Kid on the cover. Like, I'm the hero, I'm the white man, I'm going to go and set everything right like I always do throughout history.
Nice.
Except in the game, he's horrifically sunburned.
Well, he is white, and he was out in the sun. So the land of,
and Karateka, for those of you who don't know,
hold on 1 second. He was out in the land of the rising sun. Go.
Yes.
No, but Zoop, I was going to say that you said it takes place in feudal Japan. I thought you were going to tell me that there was massive crabs
no!
giant
enemy crab, and it takes the villain from the Karate Kid to flip it over and hit it at its weak point. Massive damage. So much damage, you guys. So much damage.
So good.
No, but yeah, for those of you who don't know, if you're sitting here wondering still, I don't know what Karateka is. If you don't know what we're talking about, if you've ever seen the animated GIF of the guy in a karate outfit doing all the breakdancing stuff, that's the Karateka guy.
For all you internet savvy meme hunters.
For all of you who filter your experience through internet memes.
For all of you who live vicariously through GIFs or GIFs, whatever they're called.
That is absolutely. Did you say GIFs?
That's apparently the proper way to say it.
I've always called them GIFs too, but now I
say GIFs with a hard G because I don't want it to sound like I'm talking about peanut butter.
I know, right?
Good point.
I want a peanut butter sandwich.
You're making Dave hungry. Focus, Dave.
We're in the home stretch here. Just focus.
I love the idea of you two just holding me by the shoulders, trying to keep me going forward, and I keep on veering off to the side like, I smell it! I fucking smell it!
Jesus. All right. So, final topic for the day, just something to cover real quick. Let's play or talk through chatter. This is just us covering what we're doing right now, what the plans are in the future.
Yeah.
So, Zoop?
What
do you got on the horizon, buddy?
On the horizon?
Yeah.
Probably gonna go eat that peanut butter sandwich.
All right. How about you, Rob?
I'm playing Shantae for the Game Boy Color and Kirby Canvas Curse for the DS.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And
first episode just went up in HD.
Yeah.
Actually.
Wait a second. How the hell are you playing a DS? What type of newfangled technology am I missing out on that you're playing a DS game? And
DS emulator, fucking duh.
But is it
idiot?
But how? With the mouse, you
Zoop's brain is the bird shit,
with the mouse. It's way harder with the mouse.
I was gonna say that sounds like it's a pain in the ass.
I wasn't. I didn't think it would be as much as it is, but it's going.
Who's the idiot now?
Yeah,
boom! In your face.
I don't think about these things before I just jump into it.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's nice to be doing a DS game. It's something at least fairly current.
I was gonna say it's something.
Never mind the fact that it was a DS launch game.
It's
so
something that's about 10 years old, so current by your standards.
Yeah, 7 years old.
Well,
Single digit.
Well, with how time flies and how we all get older, it'll be 10.
It's basically 10 years old.
Yeah, it's basically 10.
That's true.
It's like 20 in internet years.
Yeah, I know, right? It truly, honestly,
like Super
is.
Mario Brothers is like an old timey sepia tone photo at this point.
I know, right? Old time radio.
Speaking of Super Mario Brothers, that's a talk through of mine. Everyone should check out just for the first video because I ran it like one of those. You don't know anything about this game, and I'm going to tell you stuff right out of the instruction booklet. For a laugh. But anyway, Jesse, what do you got coming in the future? Anything confirmed or anything you're thinking about?
Still current. We're doing Mario 64, you and I. Shared
Of
duty.
course.
And
two of those will be up before you hear this podcast,
probably.
that's for sure.
Well, I don't know. Probably sooner than that, depending on how quickly you assemble it.
Yeah, I'm busy all weekend, so.
Well, if you want to send it to me, I can get it up sooner than that.
Yeah, well. I'll play with it first. I said I'd play
Any
with your
who's a
stuff.
what's
It's
it's.
all good.
I don't know. Coming up, I don't know. Those two games still have a little ways to go, so I will withhold future plans.
All right.
For now.
And what about you, Mr. Bryself? What is in the pipeline?
Wow, look at this guy throwing the segment to me.
No one gives
Damn.
a shit.
I was trying to be nice.
Well, exactly.
Well,
just recently I had finished off Fire Emblem after, a long ass haul because it's a long game and a computer crash and all that fun stuff. I moved on and did a bunch of short, quick ones, kind of like a palate cleanser, I did Rainbow Islands and I did Paperboy 2 and I did another 76 in one rush, which was, just a takeoff of one I did 4 years ago, where I did 76.
Was it really that long ago between those?
The 76 in one rush was in like January 2009.
Whoa! Yikes!
Yep.
Dude, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Again,
me too.
Kirby's going to be 10 years old before you know it.
Yeah.
So coming up, you guys will have seen the teaser, but it's not up officially as of this recording. Super Mario Land. Speaking of old Mario titles, sorry, Mario titles.
Mario. When Mario? I've never.
It's Mario, and that's all I'll always say.
That'll be like 2 days long. What have you got coming after that?
That's like 4 days long.
You're going to do each world individually. Those are going to be like 5-minute videos.
Not the way I play it. I haven't played it in 15 years.
What
so
way are you playing it? Are you
going
going to be dying a lot or something?
I probably.
Are you going to be
will. I
taking
haven't
on
recorded
purpose
any of it
to
yet.
pad out the time?
No, because that's not going to help anybody. It's just going to be me dying stupidly. Anyway, Streets of Rage is. Streets of Rage Remake is still going, but starting with the last special character and the last regular character, we're going to start doing stage select so we can see stages we haven't seen and get different endings that we haven't seen. So that series will be drawing to a close soonish. Unfortunately, my capturing device is on the fritz. I know, Brysolf with defective technology.
Good God.
Go figure. But I know it's down. So some of the planned stuff I had to do isn't happening because right now I'm doing Super RPG as part of the Indiegogo campaign that was run to get me the new computer. And thank you to everyone who contributed. Thank you so much. That's awesome. The amount of money you guys raised. Yeah, exactly. And I'm doing that one right now for King Cool 2099, or as the three of us know him.
It's
King
true,
Cool.
we do.
And my plan was to move on to a console one after that, and somebody, I can't remember the name of the subscriber who sent in and contributed the money, but I have it written down on the forums. I can look it up later. He actually sent me Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Ooh!
And I was going to play the first Metal Gear Solid, but now I can't because the capturing device is down.
You need
So
to
I'm
work
pissed
that
off
I
out.
think
about
what's
that.
down
I'm
is your
looking
luck.
Yeah, that ain't no kidding.
Like, I have spent years bagging on Metal Gear Solid just because I know it's going to annoy people. And now I'm going to have to play it. And I know for a fact a bunch of people are going to enjoy watching me get my ass handed to me in my hat.
I'll tell you what.
Because sneaking games are
they're not mine either, but I'll tell you what. You're in for a hell of a ride. That is an excellent
Twin
series.
Snakes is a remake of the first one, right?
Uh-huh.
And the second one, I believe, too. Or it has the second one in it, I think.
Does it? I don't know.
It has 2 discs.
I think it's 2 discs because it's a fucking GameCube game, and it's really, really impressive visually. I think that's why it has 2 discs.
The other disc is Snake's Porn Collection. You get the password at the end of the first disc, and then the second disc.
You see,
you're right. It's just the fact that
you
it
see,
needs 2
Brian.
discs.
I know with your cartridges, but just because Mass Effect 3 has 9 discs, it doesn't mean that there's 9 games included. I know it's blowing your mind right now.
Hard to wrap your mind around.
It's really hard to grasp, but.
That's fucking crazy, man. Anyway, yeah, and as for the future, there's a couple things I'm toying with. One is an NES RPG game that I've only recently heard of. I've never played, and it looks like it'll be fun, but it's going to be kind of weird. It's the usual, like, Brysov does something that is within the realm of normalcy, but it's got something to it that's just a little strange. I'm not going to give the title for it yet, because I'm not sure I'm going to cover it.
But when we're done recording here, if you know it's good for you.
Oh, I'll tell you that. That one's down the line, and then after that is one that's long been missing from the collection of talk-throughs I've put together, and Round the Wheel knows what it is, but it's also one that Round the Wheel has played on YouTube a couple times, and that would be Super Mario World.
Yes.
I'm finally going to get that game out of the way. And then down the line, of course, I've got Star Scavenger coming from some dude on the internet, whoever that guy is. And,
projected release date winter
winter
2027.
All right, perfect. I should probably be done all my list of games by then. So I've got a lot of different stuff in the go, and of course Minecraft, which is still chugging along, and I still haven't found any diamonds. It's terrible.
Are those rare?
Terrible.
They're rare, but they're not supposed to be this fucking rare. I did 35 minutes of mining and compressed it into a video of 20 minutes using fast forward and everything else. Still didn't get a diamond. That's horrible. I'm playing online on a server. I trip the wrong way in a cave and I find like 10 diamonds. It's ridiculous.
Again, the
utterly insane
self-luck.
Yeah, it is what it is. When you're on camera, things change, I guess.
So.
Also, quick shout-outs before we sign off. I'd like to say hi to Promising Pope, my longtime friend, who is a...
How is Pope?
He's doing good. He's doing good. He's living the dream. Just taking it day by day.
He actually resubscribed to me not too long ago.
What did you guys say?
I said that Pope resubscribed to me not
actually,
that long ago.
I was just about to say that he is a friend of mine and a fan of both of yours, so I know he'll probably be listening to this at some point, so I wanted to say hello.
Nice.
Awesome.
So, and that's all I have to say. All my other friends can go fuck themselves.
Well, my personal shout-out is going to go to someone I just mentioned recently, and that would be King Cool 2099. This is a guy that we all met on GameFAQs, and he was there too, and for a long time, like, would you say at least, a solid 4 or 5 year period where basically he would post something on there, and it would be this, like, self-indulgent tripe. He was in a dungeon of like, depression, I think, but the three of us would relentlessly just rag on him. Like, it was not nice. It was not nice at all. And he has turned out to be one of the coolest, chillest dudes.
He really has.
And if you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to him now. King Cool 2099. He runs a few different features on his channel, but the main one is the toast reviews, where he reviews a movie while something is toasting in a toaster, and then he eats it. It's actually really funny though.
It sounds awesome.
Like, it's brilliant, and and his knowledge and just understanding of cinema is pretty good. Like, other than the fact that he thought Hope Floats was okay. That's a whole other ball of
we all
wax.
have our.
Well, now we're back to picking on him again.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah, but No. That's not picking. That's a minor quibble at this point. You remember how he used to be, man. The guy is those houlas,
It was
dude. Go check his
relentless.
channel out.
Yeah,
Go
he really
subscribe,
is.
man.
It's one of
He's
the
awesome.
few things actually that I really honestly regret. That guy, he ended up being really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
came out
did.
like
I
this,
think a
and
lot
so-
of it has to do too with growing up too. You realize that
What a hook for the podcast.
So-
Go listen to these three guys. They're dicks to you if you don't know them.
Well, I mean, we kind of are, right? I mean, yeah.
A little
Actually,
bit.
that's a pretty good rule of thumb for me.
Guys. So, guys, just to finish that,
We're the three
definitely from out of line, but-
douche more or less.
but you guys can tell me if I'm out of line here, but I'll just say it right now to King Cool. Apologies
Yeah,
for being assholes.
absolutely.
That was not cool of us.
Yeah.
We definitely pushed it too far more than a few times.
We were all young and stupid, I think, more or less.
Well, you guys were young. I was slightly
Well,
old
you can be
and
old and
stupid.
stupid whenever your brain's as tiny as
we
yours.
were posting on GameFAQs, so that was a given.
Yeah. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
but at least-
fair enough.
Anyway, do you have anyone you want to shout out to, Jesse, before we go our separate ways?
I have no shout-outs.
Big surprise!
I marched my own drum.
There's no
Fuck all
friends
y'all.
on it.
Big surprise! Somebody is all, ooh, I'm too good to give people shout outs.
No, I just don't have anyone lately that I really.
You're like, I hate all of my subscribers and my commenters.
No, I don't.
But
I don't
what if-
hate
okay,
anybody. I just
okay,
said
Jesse.
that I have no props to give.
Okay, well, how about that then? We can make it a shout out or a fuck you. We do this
Yeah,
fuck
do
you
it.
two.
You have to do one or the other.
A shout out or a fuck you? Well, I'd rather be nice than mean.
Carl Rove. Give it to Carl Rove. We were going to touch on the election, but we didn't. So give it to Carl Rove.
That's a given. Fuck Karl Rove any day of the week.
No, the election's not over. The decision desk says it's over.
It's not
No,
over
it's not
till it's over, guys. No, it's over. All the precincts have reported, guy. Go home,
So
Carl.
good.
It's over.
Anyway, guys, just before
Next
we go,
time I'll have a
one
shout
last
out.
little. All right, fair enough. We didn't really talk about that. We just kind of got that in there. One last thing, guys. For this, if we're going to be doing this regularly, we kind of want to dress it up a little bit, make it look a little better. Some things we could use if someone out there has the artistic
Wherewithal.
thought of mind to be able to throw something together. We're looking for like a logo. So like it's ZB&J is what we're calling this because it's play on PB&J. You know?
Oh, that Jiffy sandwich sounds so
Anyway.
good right now, you
Behind
guys.
that curtain again.
Dave, seriously, just hold on like 2 minutes.
Anyways, carry on.
So yeah, we could use a logo. We could use some intro, outro music. We also could use Iron
Fucking!
Sheik to the butt. Just for
If
why to listen to
anybody
that.
actually can put this together with music, I would be happy to do the vocals in an MP3, and then we could splice in the fucking as well. So I'd be happy to make up a fancy "It's the Iron Sheik segment" type of thing, and then we could actually do that. If someone can create the music, I'll work with them.
Nice. And if anyone out there has any knowledge of how iTunes, the intricacies of that horrifying beast works, so we can make this available for download in more places.
I bet it's not as
that would
complicated
be-
as it's made out to
Oh,
be.
I'm sure it's
just
not.
that
I'm
We're
sure it's
lazy.
I mean,
not,
we
but-
can still do
yeah.
direct download for now. Well, I look at the page and I'm like, well, make sure you get a feed burner going, and then you need to consult with iTunes, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna go get some nachos. Fuck this
Exactly.
noise. But
Anyway,
yeah, we
guys,
would like to distribute through iTunes if that's a thing. You get more listeners that way,
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
as
you
is
do.
my understanding.
It's more convenient too for
I mean,
listeners.
we know how to use computers and all, but we're like one step above Luddite.
Yeah, we truly are.
Pretty much.
Lastly, again, this is like the fourth lastly. Plugs. I am at ZoopSoul on Twitter. You can follow me there. I often complain about the St. Louis Cardinals in the season. I apologize. There's going to be thousands of tweets. In between seasons, I usually just write jokes and often provide commentary for the video game industry, which I am unfortunately a part of. Jesse.
I'm Round the Wheel on Twitter, and I have a Facebook fan page also. And I do a Tumblr every day where I post a video game song that I like. That is rtwlovesvgm.tumblr.com. Those are like the things
Nice.
I have going besides YouTube.
Brian?
As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Brysolf, creative, I know. I usually don't use Twitter a whole lot. When I do, it's usually to talk to another fellow I know who's a football fan. He's an Eagles fan, but he's still pretty chill. And and I usually just talk about the Giants. But other than NFL season, I post stuff about what's going on the channel occasionally, and it's typically sports or the channel. That's pretty much all you get there. And of course, there is the Facebook fan page. Still chugging along, and there are the forums, brywheel.proboards.com, which is shared, of course, with Round the Wheel. And we're always looking for new blood because it's got a nice base there. We just need to grow the membership a bit so we can really get it rolling. And if you want to know about Star Scavenger, the game that Round the Wheel's working on, he's got something there where you got to be a member to see that chunk of the
I don't
boards.
mean to put my fingers in too many pies, but I'm thinking about making my own actual game.
Ooh.
That'd be good. Kind of complicated, but
I'd probably start after start to that thing.
That thing that
Star
you're doing?
Scavenger.
So in 2027 then. In 2027 then.
And then I'll probably start learning how to try to use Game Maker 7.0, and get hooked up with that. Because I hear there's like a pretty comprehensive tutorial for them. So anyway,
nice. All right, guys. Well, I'd say that is going to rig it at a very robust about, I don't know, an hour 20.
Probably.
So we should probably wrap it up here.
I was going to say, that's a meaty podcast. I think it went well.
We didn't run like
guys...
Bill Simmons' 4 hours podcast, so we're doing fine.
Yeah, exactly. We're not being too overindulgent.
Right.
Yeah,
just slightly.
Always slightly.
Anyway, guys, we will talk to each other in the future, and we will hopefully have you guys listening next time.
Peace.
Later.